Wow, wow, wow. I am so excited. I am fantastic and amazing today, and I trust that you are too. Welcome my co-host, Tishette Bradshaw. How you feeling today?
Yes, wow, wow. We are here for another day. I'm so amazed and excited, ignited and on fire.
Yes, yes, yes. You know, attractive thinkers, we are delighted to share Beyond the Break with you today. We're going to be talking about You're Not Alone. And I know a lot of times, especially with what's going on right now around the world, in your world, what has been shifted and changed, this new change, this new way of life, this new way of showing up in the world. I know you can feel isolated. I mean, quarantine meaning we all were in, our own little world. We had to isolate ourselves from family and friends and co-workers and business partners. And I just want you to know, Tishette and I have come together today to make sure that you know that you are not alone. Dr. Toni Hatton here, your Break the Cycle specialist, and
Visual encourager. I am here to help you with mental support.
absolutely. So when we talk about You're Not Alone, and before we get into the topic for today, I want to make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. And I just thank you. All of the subscribers that we have right now, I am excited that you're there. Thank you for sharing it. Click like, give us a thumbs up on our channel, share it on your social media pages because people need to hear this Beyond the Break message. Each week we come before you to support you in living your life beyond the break, beyond heartbreak, beyond, disappointments, frustrations, beyond being blindsided by life, beyond the success. Once you reach success, you still are, you broke out of something. So you need to know how to live beyond that break. So Tishette and I today are going to be talking to you about how it feels. We have to first break it down because sometimes you can be around a person and they feel alone and you not know it. You want to know the signs of someone who feels alone. Once you know the signs, you can now respond. You can't respond if
Yes.
everybody's laughing, everybody looks happy, everybody, looks successful and you're celebrating, but it's possible to be in a room full of people and feel alone. Do you agree, Tishette?
Yes, I was just thinking that. I was just thinking there was so many times where I did find myself in a room full of people and I did find myself being alone, feeling alone. And no matter how many people were there, I just could not connect. But one of the things I realized is that my feeling of being alone was actually a disconnect from myself,
Mm.
because I feel like I don't want to rely on other people to fill that gap or have the need for other people in order to fill that gap. Yes, we do need people. We do need support. We will love support. But when you are connected with yourself, you know that no matter who's in your life, who comes and goes, you know that you're never alone. Absolutely.
Yes, yes, I like that. You said sometimes when you feel alone, it's possible that you're disconnected from yourself. That's a big issue right there because being disconnected from self, it's like nothing makes sense. It's like you can't find connection with anything. It's like everything is in a disarray. Being connected to self is key because when you know who you are, and I love it when you said, Tishette, it doesn't mean that we don't need other people. It doesn't mean we don't need that connection, but feeling alone and being alone are two different things. So
True.
when we talk about feeling alone, like you could be in a crowded room full of people and still feel alone, meaning you don't feel the
Yes.
connection. You don't feel connected. And it doesn't necessarily have to be being connected to people. It could be being connected to yourself. Do you know yourself? Have you accepted yourself? We created an entire episode on self-acceptance. So you might want to go back and look at that and go through that message and see if you can find yourself in that message because feeling alone and being alone are two different things. You being alone is not being around people or isolated and things like that, but feeling alone, that energy of alone, it's a airy, breezy, like not connected, um all over the place, not feeling supported kind of energy. When you feel
Yes.
alone, it's an isolating island type feeling, and it can be scary. It can be lonely. You can feel like you're not a priority, or nobody cares, or nobody reached out to you. That's a totally different kind of feeling than actually being alone. So we want to deal with that feeling. And in dealing with that feeling, you want to remind yourself that, number one, I am never alone. I am never
Yes.
alone. You got to first
Yes.
establish that. But that feeling alone type of thing, to talk to us more about what that feels like when a person feels alone.
Yes, absolutely. So the thing about when you feeling alone, you have to ask yourself a question. In this moment, what am I looking for? Because when you're in a room full of people and you're feeling alone, that means you're looking for some type of
Mm,
energy exchange. You're looking for some type of aha moment. You want this moment to be more than what it is. So
mm,
say you were in a relationship, and I've seen many people in relationships where they were married for years on end but feel alone because there was no exchange of ideas, there was no exchange of energy, no exchange of support, no exchange of connection,
that's
no
good.
exchange of intimacy, you know, so you end up feeling alone. But then you have though also have those loners, those people who are introverts that like being alone, that never really feels alone because they have discovered ways to feel connected within themselves, you know. And there's plenty of people who are, don't get me wrong, there's plenty of people who are happily married and you know, feel, you know, connected with their spouse, you know, and that's a blessing. But it's a blessing when you can be standing in a room by yourself and feel that energy exchange that comes with prayer, that comes with giving yourself some mental tools. You know how we always talk about mental tools every week. When you read a book and you exchanging ideas by that book that you're pulling from that book or that audio or this video, you know, you're pulling ideas. You feel that it takes up that mental space. And that's one thing too I wanted to share is we have to be mindful of what takes up our mental space, because what's taking up our mental space can add to the feeling of being alone, especially if what you're using to take up your mental space, the feeling is called emptiness.
Mm,
So
mm,
yes, I definitely can understand what it's like. You got to listen to the symptoms. You listen and watch your language when it comes to that, because when you're going through anything, there's a certain language that comes with whatever it is you're going through. You know, if you're going through financial hardships, you'll have a language that says, I'm broke, I can't afford, or I wouldn't do this. You know, it's that limited way of thinking.
yeah.
But when you're alone, you start saying things like, nobody supports me, nobody's here for me, nobody loves me, nobody thinks I'm great, nobody good. And when we talked about self-acceptance, we talked about what is the language that you're saying to yourself, because what you're saying to yourself is the most important thing
Yeah.
of anybody that anybody can ever say to you. So when you're feeling alone, you know, what are you saying to yourself in that moment? Are you saying, you know, I need people in order to be?
Mm,
Now we all do need each other,
yeah.
especially in a time like this. We need each other. We need to lean on each other. This is why Dr. Toni and I are here, because we do need each other to support each other, but there's nothing like unity. But you want to make sure that you are supported and unified with the right people. And so when you have that exchange of ideas, it's ideas that lift and inspire and not break down. You know, so you want to make sure that you are connected with the right people, but more importantly, make sure you are connected with yourself.
Yes, I totally agree. You said so many wonderful things, so many, things that stood out to me that I could really tap into. Like you said, when you're feeling alone, especially if you're around a lot of people or even a small group of people and you're still feeling alone, you have to check that energy. Maybe the energy that you're around, the spirits that you're around are empty spirits. You never know, and
Mm-hmm.
you're blaming yourself. And I don't mean blaming yourself, but you're checking you and assessing you like something's wrong with you, but you're supposed to be assessing your environment and the people in it as well. When we find ourselves, because you said, Tishet, that kind of energy it contributes to how you feel about yourself or what's going on. And it can contribute to your spirit, your energy, your balance and your alignment in life. When you
Yes.
surrounded yourself by empty spirits, meaning spirits that are void of substance, spirits that can't contribute to your energy, can't lift you
Yes.
up. If you're surrounded by people that cannot lift you up, of course, you're going to feel that disconnect. You're going to feel that loneliness, that island type feeling because you can't relate to anybody. It's easy
Yes.
to feel alone when you're in a room full of people if you can't relate to any of them. And it's not
Yes.
to say that it's something wrong with them. We are responsible for our energy. We are
Mm-hmm.
responsible for the energy around us. And we have to check things at the door. We have to be accountable to our own spirit and our own heart and make people qualified to be in our space because your space
Yes.
is sacred. Your space is
Mm.
sacred, and you want to make sure that the right spirits are around you. The right spirits are gathering around you. The right spirits are conversating around you because they affect your energy. And if you're always feeling this way, see, a lot of times, and Tashet, you're an expert when it comes down to depression. A lot of times when people are feeling that low energetic feeling, it's not just one thing, it could be a number of things. So you want to be
Mm-hmm.
checking and assessing, like, where is this feeling coming from? Where does this energy come from? I know I'm great. I know I'm fantastic and amazing. I know I can do great things. I know I've accomplished a lot. I know I'm going somewhere in life. Why do I feel this contrary, opposing energy? Why do I feel like something's trying to make me feel sad or feel alone or feel withdrawn? So you have to do an assessment. You assess yourself first. Like you said, Tishet, along with that energy, that feeling alone energy comes a language. It's a culture. It's a culture.
Yes.
Feeling alone, just look at it as an entire culture, meaning a set of thoughts come with it, a set of beliefs come with it, a language comes with it, a set of habits and behaviors come with it. It's an entire culture when you're stepping into the energy of feeling alone. So you have to assess, are my thoughts causing me to feel this energy? Are my words causing me to feel this energy, experience this energy? Is it my beliefs? Is it my habits? Am I doing something that's causing me to feel this energy? After you've done those assessments and you realize that you've made some shifts and moves and you're back in alignment, now you have to come out of yourself and start to assess your environment and the people in it. Am I surrounded by people that are of great substance, people that can pour into me? Because everybody does not have the capacity to pour into your life. And you have to be
That's true.
okay with that. You can't keep tiptoeing around it. You can't sugarcoat it. You can't keep managing it and settling for it because, as you can see, it is affecting your energy. It is affecting your energy. When you're around people that can't contribute to you and lift you up, then you're exhausting yourself, spending energy that that is depleting to you, and it's not going anywhere. That energy is not being used. So you want to be careful when it comes down to assessing yourself, your environment, and the people in it, and make sure people have the capacity to lift you up, because we don't stay up all the time. And when we fall, I'd rather fall around somebody that can help me get up than to fall
Yes.
around somebody that is not even capable, around somebody that don't even know I just fell.
Yes. Absolutely.
I'd rather fall around one person that has the capacity to lift me back up than to fall around a whole room full of people and they don't even know I just fell. It just went right over their head. They stepped over top of me and kept doing what they were doing. So you
Mhm.
have to make sure you're surrounded by soldiers and warriors and champions and people who fight in the spirit, people who understand energy, people who celebrate you, people who can lift you up. That's important. That's half the battle. Because when I'm having, I don't, you didn't hear me say if, when I'm having a low energetic day, I can only go but so low when I'm around the right people because their energy is so high. I can't stay there too long. They're going to lift
Mhm.
me back up. Back to you, Tisha.
Yes, yes. You want to really surround yourself by people who are willing to, like you said, they're warriors. They're
Yeah.
willing to fight. They're willing to stand. You know, you want to surround yourself by people who take a no excuse approach, so that when you do fall or when you do find yourself down, they don't just say, "Oh, I'm sorry to hear that," and then that's it. They don't just say, "Oh, dang," you know. Um, they say they have something constructive to say. They have something that they can give you that will ignite you. It could just turn on a light, you know, and then all of a sudden you got all these flow of new ideas and new thoughts. Those are the people you want to be around. Those that inspire you to have a new flow of thoughts, which will increase your energy. And see, we have to really pay attention. You know, you said to self-assess. We have to really pay attention to every day, everything, especially nowadays. You have to pay attention to your energy. You have to pay attention to what's going in. Pay attention to, you know, what you're looking at, what you're hearing, even what you're eating can make a big difference to your thought life, you know, because if you're not eating the proper food, then it could really um, mess with some of the chemicals going on up here that you can't even think the way that you need to think, you know. So when you are reading something, and this is why I say pay attention, because sometimes we don't know when that comes in, when that thought comes in. Because sometimes it don't come in like a bulldozer. Sometimes it sleep on in, it slicks in through the crack while you're watching TV that's not inspiring and you are being entertained. But at the end of the day, you have all these thoughts that you're sitting on that's causing you to second guess yourself, that's causing you to look at everybody around you side eye, you know, that and not in a good way, because I do believe you have to assess yourself and everybody around you. We talked a little bit about that last week. So when you are assessing, you're assessing your relationships, you are assessing your language, you know, you are paying attention to what you say. I heard before, I think his name was Simon Bailey, I read his book, where he said the words that you speak will go into your future and pull you through a process. And I believe that because I have seen manifestation of so many words spoken. And here's the thing, those words, like we said before, have power because I connected to it. I align my energy up with it. So when I say stuff like I'm alone, nobody loves me, nobody's here with me, and I feel that energy in my heart, I'm connected and aligning with that energy, I'm creating more alone. So you have to be careful and pay real good attention to everything. What's going in, but also what's coming out. You have to pay attention.
Yes, I totally agree to Shep because you said paying attention. And a lot of times when we're not paying attention, that's how those things make deposits into our spirit. And it's very subtle. You mentioned it like when we're watching TV. You're enjoying the program, but there's an exchange taking place. Something is being
Yes.
deposited into your spirit and in your energy. And you know it when you get up from watching the movie and you feel a certain way or you see things differently, or you respond a certain way, or you refer back to the movie. We all have our favorite movies and we refer back to them, when the time presents itself. It's because something about that movie resonated with us, or I found myself in that movie in a particular scene or setting or whatever that might be. So something made a deposit, something made an impact, something made an impression on me. And that's how it is in life. We're watching a movie. There are people in that movie that are moving around and talking and doing things, and they have habits, and, there's a culture and things like that. It's the same thing as in life. What kind of impact are the people around me making on my energy and in my spirit? What kind of impression are they leaving on me? Because that attributes to how much success I can accomplish in life. When we're around, we don't get it twisted. People do put an impression on you. People do make an impact on your energy and your spirit, and being around certain people can hold you back. It's
That's
just
so
that
true.
simple. We don't want to act like it's not holding us back. I mean, for so many years, I recognize myself as such a strong person, and I've overcome so many incredible things in my life. And once you realize that about yourself, that you're strong and you can get through things, sometimes you negate the fact that it has an effect on you. It is
Yes,
having
yes.
an effect on you. Just because you're strong doesn't mean it's not having an effect on you. How many times do we find ourselves saying, "Oh, I'm good. I'm okay. Oh, don't worry about that. I'm good. I'm all right," or "No, I can get through that," or "I'll be okay." When we say things like that, we're not also acknowledging that I was affected. I was affected
Mm-hmm.
by that. I was affected by what they said, or by what I did, or how I responded, or, what they did, or what I experienced, or what I saw. I was affected by that. Even though I didn't respond to it and I ignored it, or I stepped over top of it and kept doing what I was doing and accomplishing, I was affected, and
Yes.
sometimes, this is what I say. When you see successful people, or you see people you admire, for example, let me give you an example. You might see somebody's family and they have such a beautiful family, and oh, that looks so wonderful, and I'm so happy for them, and their kids are so successful, da da da, or they're succeeding, or they just graduated, or the couple looks so happy, they look so, in tune with each other, oh, they're so spiritual. You have to understand that we all on this planet have challenges, and we all have successes. We all have weaknesses. We all have strengths. We all have things that we're good at, and we have things that we're not so good at. Anytime you see somebody successful, just understand that they went through something to get that. It's not free.
Yes.
It's not free. And they had times that they felt alone as well, because one of the tactics to shed that really, and strategies that really get people down and staying down too long when they're feeling alone, is that they think they're the only one. You're
Yes.
not the only one. You're not the first one to
Yes.
feel alone. And I promise you, you won't be the last. So what you need in a time like that, when you're feeling alone, and as you mature in your spirit, I want you to hear this. As you mature in your spirit, sometimes you're okay with feeling alone.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's okay with you to feel alone, because
Yes.
it's passing. It didn't come to stay. It's passing, and you will be okay. And you get to that place, you say, "Oh, I'm feeling kind of distant and disconnected today." And you flow with it. You allow it, because it's a process. Maybe it's something that you need to feel, because you don't know who you're getting ready to come into contact with who feels that way. And now you can relate. And now you have something to contribute. Now you can help them. Now you can encourage them. So every emotion that we feel, because see, we label emotions and say, "Oh, these are good emotions and good ways to feel, and these are bad emotions and bad ways to feel." And I just want to feel the good emotions. I don't want to feel the bad emotions, because then when I feel the bad emotions, I think there's something wrong with me, or something that needs to be adjusted in me, or something's going on that I need to fix in me. And maybe it's not.
Yes.
Maybe it's just called life,
Yes.
and it's okay. But the
Mm-hmm.
thing is, You know, we have tools as attractive thinkers, as the visual encourager shares all the time. We have tools to support you when you're going through those spectrum of emotions, so that you come out in a healthy way, so that you handle it in a healthy way, and it's not devastating and debilitating and excruciating for you, and you're not there too long, like weeks and months. That's not healthy. You know, we feel
Yeah.
emotions and they pass. You might feel that way at 12 noon, and by 3 o'clock, you're good. You feel something
Yes. Yeah.
different. You know, you might feel that
Yes.
way on Monday, and then by Monday night, you're okay. Or maybe Tuesday night, you're okay. It may last 24 hours or 48 hours. Anything beyond that, you need to activate your tools. You need to do an assessment. You need to find out why you're feeling that way, because those feelings and emotions are also indicators. They're telling you something. There's messages in there.
Yes. Yes.
So this is
Yes.
this is very broad. So I'm sharing this broad perspective because I want you to understand and not, go inward, beating yourself up because you feel a certain way and taking the
Hmm.
blame for everything, or thinking something's wrong with you because you feel a certain way. Back to you, Tasha.
Right. Yes, you said so many powerful things. One of the things you said is it's passing. And see, attractive thinkers, I hope you have a pen and paper handy. I'm always writing because I never know what's going to come out of her mouth. So I'm always writing. But you said when you mature, when your mind matures,
Yeah.
you're okay with being alone. You know it's passing and it will be okay. And see, that feeling of being alone can stem from feeling like you're going to be there forever. You're always going to be alone. You're always, going to have to do everything by yourself. You'll never have anybody supporting you. That feeds into that feeling of permanent
Yes.
feeds into that. And it is important to know that it is passing, and you're not going to always be alone because you're never alone. Listen, as long as you're connected and as long as you have yourself and you have God, you are never alone, because he can send whoever is designed to be with you, near you, and who is equipped to fight the battles with you. Because again, everybody can't go where you're going, and that has to be okay.
Yeah.
There's people are in your life for a reason and a season, and it is up to you to know what's the reason and then what's the season. Because keeping people beyond their season and not having a clear understanding of the reason can cause some disturbances all up and through that relationship and make you feel even more alone, even though you're interacting with something. Another thing that you said you are not the only one. When we think that we are the only one, then what we do is we are the only one that we think we're the only one that can reach that. We think we're the only one that goes through that. We think we're the only one who is to blame for that. We think we're the only one. And that thought alone has to shift. Because listen, there's a lot of people out here who are just like you. There is so many like-minded people. And see, this is what the attractive thinker is about. Dr. Toni has put so many programs in place so that she can help like-minded people come together so that they can make their vision come to pass. So there's so many people that is out here that are like you, that want to go where you're going, that is equipped to go where you're going. But see, you have to stop hiding. You got to expose yourself. I always tell people, sometimes it's not what you're creating. Sometimes it's just the exposure. What you created is powerful. What you have in your hand is powerful. You created this magnificent thing. You didn't give birth to this magnificent thing. And now you have to do with your gift like they do in the Lion King. You got to stand up at the mountain, hold that thing up so that everybody can acknowledge what's going on and take part in what you have to offer. It is a gift, so you can't hide your gift. So part of being alone can stem from wanting to hide, feeling embarrassed, which comes from feeling like you are the only one. When you know that you're not the only one, it takes down the weirdness that we feel. When we have this business idea and you're like, I don't want to do that because you know, they might think something wrong with me and this, that, because we have a need to fit in, you know. But when you know that you're not the only one, even if you're what you have to offer is unique, but you're not the only one, and you know that your kind is somewhere out there looking for you. Can you believe that there's somebody out there praying for somebody like you to come into their life right now, so that y'all together can get where you need to go? But if you are feeling weird, feeling like you're the only one, you're gonna hide. And so when you hide, you're hiding your gifts, you're hiding your power, and you're hiding your purpose, and you're also hiding your reward. You know, so you have to get yourself out there, be willing to expose yourself, be willing, you know. One of the things that I've learned is if I wanted some good friends, I had to first learn to be a good friend. So I had to assess myself and my friendships to see how I can be a better friend. And so, because you attract who you are, you attract who you are. You attract the people that are like-minded. Birds of a feather will always flock together. You are attracting like-minded people. But it's hard to attract those people if you're still trying to hide, because you feel like you're the only one, and you don't accept it. So you project that other people won't accept it. And see, we got to be careful what we project on other people, because we could be thinking of a certain thing of ourselves and feeling like, you know, this is me. I'm weird. What I'm trying to offer people, they might not like it. You know, I'm the only one that think like this. There's nobody out here that think like that. You know, when you are hiding that, you're not allowing other people to see that they too have somebody like them. There's a lot of people out here that are just like you. They are looking for you. And it's important that you don't get caught up in the language of alone and stop your progress and your and you know, lengthen your process, you know, because sometimes we be in stuff for way too long because we don't understand what our language is. We don't understand the habits and the trends that we have going on, you know, that is contributing more and more to being alone. But you're never alone. You know, again, like we said in the beginning of this video, you know, as long as you have that connection with yourself and you learn how to exchange ideas, you learn how to find different ways of intimacy, you know, you find, you know, through prayer, you know, having that intimate relationship with God, you know, learning how to have a language for yourself that builds you up so that it can change what's in you, so that God can bring in the person who is just like you. And I mean the you that you're trying to be, not the you used to be, you know, because you don't want to keep drawing in the same people. If you feel like you're alone and you feel like it's only you, then the people that you're bringing in is going to have that same spirit. So there's not going to be a connection because you two are hiding. So you have to assess yourself, understand the connection within yourself, get yourself out there, expose yourself, and you'll see that everybody who is designed to be connected to you will come flocking. Yeah. Back to you, Dr. Toni.
That is so good. That is so good. So many wonderful things that you said. And I trust that the attractive thinkers listening to this message, you're gathering the gems along the way. You're accessing tools that you can use and implement in your own life to get results. When it comes down to feeling alone is not just a sad feeling, you know, or you're feeling isolated or you're somewhere in your home alone. You know, do you know that you can feel alone succeeding in life? You could feel alone while you're making accomplishments. Have you ever made an accomplishment in your life and you couldn't find anyone to share it with? That's a lonely feeling. That's feeling alone as well. Being successful, reaching certain levels of success in your life. And when you get there, the people who you used to be connected to, they're not there. So you have to create a whole new circle of people that are on that level that can support you and you can connect with and things like that. Feeling alone is such a broad spectrum. You know, feeling alone and isolated or feeling depressed or sad and heavy, that's one thing. But what about when you're reaching your levels of success? What about when you start out with a group of people and you guys are running on the track, reaching that same goal? Everybody has that same goal in mind. And you turn around and now everybody's sporadic. Some are still where you left them. They never took off. They never started. Some are, you know, maybe they have ran a few feet and got tired. Some, you know, you turn around and they're on the heels of your feet. You're running and they're running. And when you reach the finish line, you cross over, but you're crossing over at different times in your life. That can be a lonely experience, because how many times have you crossed over and you wanted people to cross over with you? You wanted your family and friends to cross over with you. And sometimes they have different goals and different paths that they have to take in their life. And you, like Tasha says, we say this all the time in our conversations, you can't take everybody with you. And that's something to process. That's another level of success, when you realize and you come to grips with, or you do your work in that area and understand and start assessing your circle. I can take this person this far. They can't go with me all the way, but they can go this far. This person can't go at all. Their feet hurt. They're tired. They're making excuses. They don't see where we're going anyway. You know, I can't take them with me because they can't run. You know, you got to do that assessment and decide who can run with you and who can't, and who do you need to let go, and then pick up somebody else on the other side of that success. Once you reach that goal, on the other side of that goal, there are a whole host of people, like you said, Tisha, waiting for you on the next level of your success. They're waiting. They're right there. You're not going to be alone. That's a trick. Now we're going to go, deeper into this, or give you another aspect of this. That's a trick of the subconscious mind to show you what alone looks like, to show you what alone feels like, to remind you or to convince you that you're going to be alone on the other side of this success, on the other side of this decision, on the other side of this season in your life. That's a trick of the subconscious mind, because if you're feeling those alone feelings, that's not going to give you the fuel or the encouragement that you need to keep pursuing. So that subconscious mind, its goal is to keep you right where you are, to keep you comfortable, to keep you in a familiar place. And if you're pursuing anything new or different, or any type of change in your life, you got to be careful with that sly little subconscious mind, because it's very sneaky and it's very subtle. And before you know, that's why assessing is so important. When you begin to experience something or feel a certain way, wait, let me do an assessment. Am I accepting myself? Am I connected with myself? Do I still have my why ever before me? Is that why still my why? Do I still believe in it? Am I making progress? Am I on the path? Once you do all of those assessments and realize you're still connected and aligned with your truth, then you begin to come out of yourself and expand and start assessing the environment and the people in it, to make sure that things are aligned for you to cross over and reach that goal, because you're never alone. People are waiting for you. Just like you made these connections and you found these friends along the way, there's a whole nother group of people at the next level. They're not coming down here to this level. You have to do your work to get to the next level, and then you'll be embraced, and celebrated on the next level with a whole new group of friends, a whole new group of experiences that you can learn and grow from. Back to you, Tashette.
See, I believe how you do anything is how you do everything. When you talked about getting to the next level and then having to change your environment and the people around you, you talked a little bit about that last week. You said success cost us something, and everybody doesn't see what success actually costs, because you look at the person and you think that it's easy, and you think that it's a breeze, or they just picked it up and they just got it like it wasn't nothing. But you don't see the sacrifices that it took to get there, the battle that was in here that it took to get there. But when you are getting there, and attractive thinkers, I believe that we all are where we need to be in this moment. You know, if you're listening to our voice, you are where you need to be in this moment, especially if this resonates with you. When you are getting there, meaning your goal, giving birth to your vision, you know, reaching your dream, and you are self-assessed, you got to keep your mind on the goal at hand. You can't get caught up in the having to let go, the feeling of having to let go. Let go, but don't get caught up in the needing to hold on to it, because that can prevent you from going further. You know, there are some people that will remove themselves out of your life, you know, and you have to be thankful for that, because that's a cord you didn't cut, but you have to be thankful that God knows what he's doing, you know. So when you get to that next level of success and you don't know those sacrifices that it took, when you tell your story, people is going to be amazed that you even dealt with that. So then you take your story and then you begin to tell other people that you see that's going up the road. Listen, you're never alone. When you get up here, it's a lot of people up here that's with you. You know, one of the things Dr. Toni said before when we were doing Taste of Elegance, keep up with Taste of Elegance, you guys. You'll really be blessed with that. One of the things that she said is, when we get out here, when we have entered this new level, there's a lot of people here. We have to go out here and introduce ourselves. You know, we have to let people know who we are. You know, and see, that goes back to exposure. You know, exposing yourself, exposing your gift, but keeping the goal at hand, but also not being limited. You know, because when we holding on to something, we have to be really careful. Because I said I wanted exceedingly and abundantly above all I could ask or think, according to the power that works within me. I want exceedingly. That means if I hold tight to my goal so tight that I don't allow God to adjust it, I'm going to get exactly what I asked for, but I want exceedingly. So when I'm holding on to people and things that I should have let go, I don't want to get in the way of that exceeding and abundant. You know, I don't want to get in the way of that. I want more than what he had. You know, I'll ask for a certain thing. I'll have a certain goal at hand, but he might have greater in mind for you that your mind can't conceive. You know, eyes have not seen, ears have not heard, nor has it entered into the heart of man those things that God has for you. You know, but if you're so bent on holding on to that thing, you're going to force this thing to happen. You've risked. Make sure, number one, that it's in alignment. Make sure that that is exactly what he wants you to do. Again, this is where assessment comes in, because he could, if he has greater for you, but you are so bent on that one thing, holding on to that one thing, holding on to that person, making sure that person is right there, and he has this person over here who has everything and more that you need, you're going to get what you asked for, what you're holding on to. So we can't get caught up in the holding on. You have to be okay with letting go. It's okay. It's okay to let go of some people. Don't have any guilt about it, because guess what? Just the same way God's taking care of you, God will also take care of them. God will also, when one person leaves, another one will enter. You know, God will supply all your needs. So if you let go of that person, you have to believe that the right people that they need for where they want to go is going to enter in. And I refuse to get in anybody's way, just like I refuse to let anybody get in my way. I'm going to get all that he has for me. I'm going to get everything that is designed for me. But I know that it's exceedingly and abundantly above all I could ask. It's exceedingly abundantly. You know, y'all got to listen to that. You know, it's over and above what I can conceive in my mind. It's over and above what I spoke about. It's over and above what I dreamed about with my vision, because I have to believe that there's something greater out here for us. And I'm not going to miss the greater trying to hold on. I'm going to let go of good in order to be great. How about that?
Yeah, I like that. Letting go of good in order to access great. You know, that can be a challenge to Shet, because When you have it good, you don't want to rock the boat. You don't want to ruffle feathers. You don't want to seem ungrateful. That's a big one right there. That can
Yes.
keep you stuck at good because you don't want to seem like you're ungrateful. Like, I'm grateful for this or that or the other. I'm grateful for everything that I have, but I want something greater. We're supposed to want greater. And it's okay. You know, sometimes when you're stuck at good, you stay stuck there until something bad happens to give you a reason to walk away from the good thing. You don't need a reason to walk. You don't have to have a reason to want better, to want greater. You know, when we talk about being alone and the many faces of it, the many facets of it, and how to do these assessments and checking your energy, that's going to launch you forward. It's going to give you a different perspective of what this being alone feels like, actually. And if this message and these gems that we've dropped and shared along the way resonated with you, I want you to click our subscribe button on our YouTube channel. We are at Beyond the Break. Give yourself a fighting chance. That's the name of our YouTube channel. Click subscribe, share our YouTube channel, because people around the world need to hear this message, because especially because of what we're going through right now with the quarantine and the pandemic and the protests and the riots and all of this isolation, and you have to wear masks and gloves, and you can go here but you can't go there. The emotions are all over the place, and we have to manage these emotions just to function. And sometimes life can come at you. We talked about that during one of our other episodes, everything seeming to come at you all at once. You want to listen to that message. These messages that we're sharing with you, Tishette Bradshaw and I, the visual encourager, is so that you can have the tools that you need to
Yes.
succeed in under any circumstances. Under any circumstances, situation present itself, you got to shift and adjust. And you're still the attractive thinker. You're still standing in your power. You can still succeed and still accomplish in that situation. Another situation present itself, you have to shift and adjust. We can shift and adjust, but what you don't want to adjust and lose is yourself in the process, because we lose a lot of things in life, but when you've lost yourself, that's when you lost everything. So you want to keep, when you're shifting and adjusting through all of these challenges and circumstances, just make sure you're holding on to who you are. Make sure you're holding on to why you are. Make sure you're holding on to where you're going. Make sure you're holding on and keeping the vision ever before you, so that you make sure you reach your destination in the midst of all that's going on in the world right now. Because see, your path may take some twists and turns, but the destination doesn't have to change at all. I want you to think about that. There are many paths to a destination. It's not just one, like Tishette said. You don't want to be so bent on it happening this way that you miss the million and other one beautiful ways, fantastic and amazing, abundant ways that your goals and your visions and your dreams and your successes can happen for you. So make sure, if you're listening to this message on Facebook, you want to click like and you want to share. If you're listening to this message on our YouTube channel, subscribe. Become a part of our Attractive Thinker family so that you get the notifications every time we put out another message, where you can gather the gems that you need along the way. So Tishette, tell our audience how they can stay connected to you, the visual encourager.
Yes, yes, yes. I am the visual encourager. My website is www.visualencouragement.com. We provide mental support for people dealing with depression, for people who desire to lift the heaviness so that they can create a new vision of themselves. Again, that's www.visualencouragement.com. Click on the contact us. Put in your information, let me know how I can help you with mental support. Tell us how we can lift you up.
Yeah.
Again, www.visualencouragement.com. And again, you can find us at Beyond the Break 2020. That's Beyond the Break 2020. Our Facebook is Beyond the Break. Give yourself a fighting chance. Make sure you click and connect. We have so many tools and things that we're giving out and teaching, so many ways that you can reach your vision, your goals, and accomplish your dreams. And we're here for you.
Awesome. Thank you for that clarity, Tashette, because our attractive thinkers will be looking for us. Our attractive thinker community will be looking for us on YouTube. And like Tashette said, you can search for Beyond the Break 2020 2020 on YouTube, and Beyond the Break, give yourself a fighting chance on our Facebook page. So connect with the attractive thinker movement. You need these tools. You cannot do this alone. You can't do life alone. Everything is mental. Everything is a mindset. And if you're reaching and running and chasing after your goals and you're not attuning to and tending to your mindset and making those shifts and adjustments, it's going to be difficult to reach your goal. And if you reach your goal, once you reach it, it's going to be difficult to maintain it, because everything is mindset. You got to keep that mind sharp. You got to keep that mind focused. You got to shut down those negative, contrary, debilitating thoughts and feelings and emotions that will hinder your process and not allow you to feel fantastic and amazing about yourself while you're reaching these goals. So stay tuned and stay connected to the Attractive Thinker movement. When you visit our page, I want you to place your information in the box there. Over a period of 5 days, you're going to receive one video message from myself, Dr. Toni Hatton, in your email. And these videos are going to they come with some quick questions that you have to ask yourself. Remember, we talked about doing that assessment. They're going to really give you some clarity that you're looking for and give you the tools that you need to overcome these hurdles. So I want you to visit www.theattractivethinker.guru, Guru. Scroll down to the bottom of the page. There's a yellow box there, and you want to click the link in that box, and it'll take you to the page where you can get your free videos. Check your email every day for the next 5 days, because I have a message for you that you don't want to miss. Dr. Toni Hatton here, your Break the Cycle specialist at theattractivethinker.guru, and
Tashette Bradshaw, the visual encourager at visualencouragement.com.
Awesome. I want you to remember something. Our life's work, that's to make your life better. Remember, it is not what you're going through, it's how you're viewing it. Think attractively. See you soon. We are so excited to see you at our next episode. Make it a great day, Attractive Thinker.